The government knows what is happening. Look, our military knows where they took off from. If it's a garage, they can go right into that garage. They know where it came from and where it went. And for some reason, they don't want to comment. And I think they'd be better off saying what it is. Our military knows and our president knows. And for some reason, they want to keep people in suspense.
So that comment there, raising speculation on about these drones circling in northeastern skies. Later today, the Biden administration is going to brief the House Intel Committee. John Kirby, White House National Security Comms Advisor, with me now. And thanks for coming back on. Appreciate it. Nice to see you today. You said something to Brett last night that caught my ear, and something on NBC a bit earlier today. Last night, you said this is lawful, legal, commercial, hobbyist, and law enforcement aircraft activity. Some of it is manned. Some of it is unmanned. And then on the Today Show, you said these are lawful, legal aviation activities, manned and unmanned drones, and civil aviation aircraft or commercial aircraft. I don't know of a manned drone.
I must have just misspoken there,
Bill. Do those
Bill.
exist?
I must have just been misspoken there. Obviously, a drone is unmanned, so if I said that, that's just my mistake and my error on live TV.
Okay, all right. I just want to clarify that a moment and get that out of the way. Military bases have seen these drones fly over them. That's a federal offense. If there ever were justification to shoot a drone down, that would be it. Why hasn't it happened?
Well, because, look, first of all, Bill, the military commanders at installations have the authorities they need to defend themselves, their people, their interests, and certainly to protect our secrets and our national security. Sometimes the answer is to find a way to down a drone, and sometimes the answer is not. And a lot of it depends on the capability that the base commander has available to him or to her, but they have the authorities that they need. The sense that you have to shoot everything down just when you see it, even if you do believe that there's a malicious intent, doesn't comport with actual reality. So, I mean, it really depends on the situation at hand. But rest assured, commanders have the authorities that they need to take the action that they must to protect their facilities.
What did you think about the incoming president saying the government knows what is happening?
We do have a good sense of what's happening. I actually don't disagree with him in that regard. I mean, we've been looking at this very, very hard. And as you saw in the joint statement last night from 4 different federal agencies, our assessment to date, based on the information that we've seen, the people we've talked to, the tips we've corroborated, this is lawful, legal aviation activity, manned and unmanned, drones, civil aviation. We've seen nothing that leads us to a different conclusion. I will say, however, Bill, that there's still about 100 leads that the FBI is following up on, and so the ongoing investigation continues. And if we learn something different, something that contradicts this assessment or something that adds to it, my goodness, you know, we'll come on TV here and we'll talk to you about it.
Is it your hunch that a lot of people are seeing the same thing? And
in some cases,
listening to your comments, you think some people are seeing planes, some people are seeing drones, and some people are seeing stars.
I think, yes, sir. I think that's a part of it. I mean, you know, we had 5,000 sightings, right? So maybe 12 people see the same aircraft. That's 12 different sightings that we have to work through. It doesn't mean 12 different aircraft. So that's happening. People are just looking up more now. It's more of a story. It's more of a thing. And people are paying attention. But remember, the reason they can see these things is because they've got their navigation lights on. They're actually flying in a legal, lawful way, according to FAA rules. They're not, they don't have the lights turned off. They're not trying to obscure themselves. And in some cases, after we've done the triangulation, it turns out to be commercial air traffic. For instance, there was a story a couple of days ago about a Coast Guard cutter seeing like 30 or 40 drones following it. We did the forensics on that. It turns out it was air traffic going into JFK International Airport and not drones at all. So some of these things, you know, your initial sightings, you want to take all the facts down, then you got to start working your way through the evidence and seeing if it tracks to something else, and that has turned out to be the case.
I got a minute left. Two very important stories to get to. Ukraine has admitted that it assassinated the Russian head of the chemical weapons unit. Where does that lead, sir?
We don't have a lot more information than what we're seeing in press reporting right now, and obviously we certainly will be talking to counterparts about that. But I can tell you, Bill, we do not enable nor do we support those kinds of missions. But again, I just don't have a lot more information on it today.
I'm reading that Netanyahu is heading to Cairo. How close are we to a peace deal? Are we any closer is a better question.
We believe, and the Israelis have said this, that we're getting closer, and no doubt about it. We believe that, but we also are cautious in our optimism. We've been in this position before where we weren't able to get it over the finish line. We are working at this very, very hard. Our special coordinator for the Middle East is still in the region. We're trying to get it over the finish line, but we're going to have to see. And Hamas is going to have to come to the table and be willing to negotiate in good faith, and they've really been the obstacle here.
It is December 17th. Can you get it done within a month?
We're going to try, Bill. We're absolutely going to try. Those hostages need to get home with their families.
John Kirby, thank you for your time. Come back soon,
Yes,
okay?
sir.
A lot to discuss.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for your time.
Yes, sir.
All right, Dana.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.